Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome back to another edition of the Gloves Off Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things Super Smash Bros. News and news accessories. As always, I am your fabulous host, Mr. Master Hand Games Koopa, and joined, as always, by my fabulous co-host, the tiny plastic baskets to my security metal detectors, Mr. Chris EX. What's up, buddy?
That's a big job. I'll have you know,
That,
being
that was a
being a
big.
tiny plastic basket or
That,
several.
I was staff. I got to skip the security line all weekend, which
Dude,
was
I went through the
bullshit.
back. I went through there was like a back door entrance. I just like held up my tag and was just like, yes, I'm working. And they're like, all right. So that was nice because
It'd be,
those lines were long.
it'd be like that sometimes. And so, yeah, it's just the two of us right now. As you can see, Hangman is in the graphic. Frank in the car, as he's been or so dubbed on the podcast. But he's currently in a business meeting right now. So, we should hear from him later, but we shall see what's up with that. But yeah, so this is our Super Smash Con themed episode. If you already can't tell, this is kind of a big deal for both of us because both of us were actually present and working at the event. Um, I had about like 6 blocks of commentary, so I was incredibly what's the word I'm looking for? Worked,
Yeah, that
and
works.
you can hear it in my voice. I am very tired, and I know you were streaming like 12, 14 hours.
Yeah, dude,
Uh,
back-to-back days. That's easily like that's like a personal best for me. That's like I don't think I've ever streamed that like that much volume at once. Friday was basically 14 hours worth of stream, and that happened because doubles ran over. So I was supposed to be done, and then I ended up with doubles, which you were there too, because you were supposed to be done, and you also ended up commentating doubles. And
yeah,
then Saturday was just a regular day, which was already scheduled to be long, which yeah, 12 hours, but yeah, pretty good though. Went off without a hitch.
yeah. So our episode today is obviously going to be talking a lot about Super Smash Con, both in terms of the bracket and the event itself, because this event is huge. And I didn't really realize the scope of how big this game could be until I realized that there is 5 iterations of Super Smash Brothers that were available and being played this weekend in various capacities. So I'll start with you because this is your first time attending SmashCon, correct? Like in any capacity.
That is correct.
So I'm sure you were, considering you were incredibly busy this weekend, I'm sure you didn't get to see much, if any, of the actual convention. But how would you describe your Super Smash Brothers, Super Smash Con experience?
Well, I got to see enough of the venue, and the cool part about it is there's like a big old like open floor plan for the most part as far as what the games are played. So if you're like a spectator, or even me who was working, I was off to the side, but you still get to see a lot because if you watched or were checking out the stream via Twitch, you would see that there were 5 active streams. There were 3 on the main stage. I was one on one side of the venue. I'm doing Ultimate and some Smash 4, and then there was another one on the other side that was doing basically just like Melee and Brawl or some of the older iterations. And the cool part about it is, you know, you're seeing everything at once, but if you wanted to walk to any one particular stream, you could totally like just kind of hone in on that in particular, and then kind of separated were the other games you'd expect to see, like the other platform fighters, like Slap City, Rivals was there, and it was overall kind of cool. I was kind of surprised at the range it covers because you hear Super Smash Con, you're just like, okay, everything's Smash Brothers, but I don't know. There's like a lot that entails, as you mentioned with the 5 games. Like there's a lot that covers between just the players you see, just the overall like even just like the fans that you see. It was and that venue was lively. There was people kind of popping off at
Yes.
all times. So yeah,
No,
a
yeah,
pretty positive experience, I would say.
yeah, without a doubt. Like, so this is my third Super Smash Con, I think, because I've been to every iteration except the first one. So since 2016 was my first one, and then 17, 18, and now this past year. This is probably my favorite year.
So
Um,
this is a pretty new tournament then, like new-ish. Like, what would you say, five
yes,
years?
yes. Super Smash Con's first iteration was, I believe, in 2015. Um,
Yeah, that's like Smash 4 times then, basically, right? Or just before?
yes, I believe so. Let me actually look it up in Google real quick.
It's funny because the way it runs and just the overall theme of it just being something that's totally dedicated to Smash, you just sort of expect it to be around for longer, but like obviously it's not because I would say this is probably the tournament. This tournament is so big that this entire episode, like you could even see it. We have a section just for the bracket because there's just so much going on there. There was even like an award show. They had like a band there that basically did a bunch of gaming covers. They released like a rivals character. There was like panels and stuff.
Hmm.
Like I said, I was kind of just surprised. Like it covered just a lot of different things. Kind of got to see everyone.
Yeah. So okay, can confirm through via the most reliable source on the internet, Wikipedia.
Yes.
Super Smash Con is in its it was founded in 2015. That first tournament was very interesting. I think it was still a case of Super Smash Con finding its footing. But it was fun at the time to see like that's when Zero was still on his tournament undefeated streak. If
Wow.
I'm
Yes,
correct.
you are correct.
So yeah, that was going on. Angel Cortez famously got fifth place at that.
Oh, what?
Yeah, at the Super Smash Con. Yes, he placed top
Who?
five at
I
that Super Smash
never
Con.
heard of him.
Hmm. I'm
Crazy.
actually gonna look up those results right now because that's very, very important by heart. Let me look this up really quick. Super
You're
Smash.
next you're gonna tell me that he like won a set with an angel drop or something. The
Maybe.
coveted angel drop.
I genuinely let me see what happened here. I'm gonna pull it up right
If you want to
now.
link me, I could
Brawl.
do the thing.
I'm just looking up on Wikipedia. Yeah, Angel Cortez got fifth place. Um,
Whoa. Whoa.
top three was Zero,
Whoa,
Esam,
man.
and Nairo.
Whoa, man. Well, that sounds right. That's all good. And I'm assuming that's Smash 4, obviously.
Yes,
Yeah.
744 entrants, which pretty much got crushed if you look at it in modern day standards. Like,
744. Yeah. Which is that's like for a Smash 4 tournament though, that's a lot. Although that's probably total entrance. What was like the Smash 4 bracket? Just kind of
no,
curious.
that was Smash Four
Oh,
by
okay. That I wasn't sure if that was like total. That's crazy. That's still like a big
yeah, like
tournament, but Smash 4 big tournament is definitely not like what a big tournament is now. 'Cause
yeah. Brawl had 121 entrants. Melee had 593, and 64 had 154. So there was a good chunk of
and
people,
what were there like 5,000 people total at this Smash Con?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely considering how it started versus to where it is now. Like I'm pretty sure MKLeo walked away with like 11 grand for first
Dang.
place. So the money was there, but we can talk about that in a bit. But yeah, my convention experience was fun because that's one of the big selling points of this event. And I always tell people if you can only go to one event a year, make Super Smash Con your one event because this offers so much as a spectator. Like it
I could
offers.
see that being the suggestion because like you think about Evo, which is like technically the biggest tournament, but that's like all fighting game championships, so you're getting all the different fighting games. But like if you're like strictly a Smash fan and you're kind of just trying to see your favorite players, like
Right.
literally everyone was in attendance for the most part. Even
You
like the
know,
people who weren't in bracket were in attendance. Like for example, James and like Gons and people
cons.
like that.
Yeah, it's actually really funny you mentioned that. I was talking to one of my friends who brought her boyfriend to uh SmashCon. It was his very first Smash tournament ever. And she had that same exact conversation with him where she was like, oh, like, do I want to take him to Evo or do I want to take him to SmashCon? And I think the easy answer is SmashCon, not only because like it offers more for just the Smash fan and just more to do in general. Because like in Vegas, it's either if you go to Evo, you're either playing fighting games all weekend or you're living your best life in Las Vegas, gambling, drinking, and trying not to get swarmed by the locusts.
Your best life in Las Vegas. Oh God, those locusts are terrifying.
Yeah, it was quite awful. But
Oof.
if you're not into that whole like Vegas lifestyle, because obviously not everybody is a drinker, not everybody's a gambler, and like you kind of have. It feels like in order to have any semblance of fun in Vegas, you kind of have to do that. Like it's one of those things that it feels like it's sort of shoved down your throat. Whereas like a lot of my downtime, I'm walking around the marketplace. They had panels all weekend with fantastic live music and you know panels about like health and coaching and other various stuff from Super Smash Con. There's the combo contest on Thursday, which is I've actually never seen it live, but it is one of my favorite things to watch in the replays because it's just like Smash 64 is so silly of a game.
It's funny. I only noticed that it was happening because I was hearing like the Smash 64 sound effects just being like like the menu like when you like reset the combo to start. I just kept hearing that over and over and over and over, and I was like, oh, that's Smash 64 combo contest, obviously.
Dude, it's so much fun. Like Smash 64 is an anime fighter, and I will once we get into the bracket side of things, I will discuss that. But yeah, my convention experience was fine. I didn't spend a whole lot of money. At least I tried not to. I spent more money on food than I did on actual merch, I think.
I feel like there were definitely a lot of vendors, but I don't know why for some reason I thought there might be like more vendors or things. But to be fair, I didn't really get to walk around that much, so I could be like bad take on that.
Yeah, in years past, there's definitely been fewer vendors, and they've just increased the number since. So I feel like there's definitely like a lot more than it looked like from where you were sitting. But like there was a lot of people selling stuff, and I bought a lot of stickers and charms and other various fun things with my money. I didn't go. I bought a new controller. Shout out to Controller Chaos for this fantastic donut controller that I'm holding in my hand right now. It looks beautiful. Yeah, it's got sprinkles and everything. I was trying to find some buttons, but all the button vendors were either like busy or busy, so didn't quite work out in that regard. But yeah, like SmashCon, like the convention in itself is fun if you're a convention person. There's definitely obviously stuff for you to do, but also just like from a spectator experience, like being able to see friends that I don't get to see very often. Like there's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Shotgun Raptor Jesus, who used to be a Jersey native, but has since moved to North Carolina for schooling purposes. Me and him got to like hang out basically all of Friday because our pools were together. We were in the same pool together.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's also just fun like getting to see like a lot of people that I don't get to see very often just because I don't get to travel at the clip that a lot of other notables do. So that to me, that's what I look forward to the most. And also the food. The food's always fantastic.
Yeah, dude. I didn't get the actually where this place was. I was surprised. Like it's like a pretty nice area because there's like a ton of food everywhere.
Yeah, so like there's tons of like quick fast food options. Obviously, if you're not spending all your money at Chick-fil-A, you're kind of messing up.
Yeah, I had Chick-fil-A. I think every day I was there.
They actually, oh god, I'm so sorry.
Well, breakfast. It's like a pretty go-to breakfast, dude. They make a nice like Chick-fil-A. I've never had their breakfast, but they do like an egg white and like grilled chicken on like a English muffin.
Ooh, that actually sounds very good.
Pretty good.
I opted for Starbucks for their egg white bites for breakfast. They were very delicious.
I've never tried those either.
Definitely, I didn't have them until this weekend. Shout outs to Papa Has for guiding me in the right direction on that one.
This podcast is brought to you by Starbucks. No, it's
yes.
not. I'm lying.
Please sponsor us. But yeah, so actually, they added a lot more restaurants to the area since last year. Because like the area that SmashCon is in is a little weird. It's in this like what's the word I'm looking for? Business district.
Yeah, it's like where it is specifically is a shopping center, but yeah, there's a ton of stuff around it.
There's like a bunch of like there's like a bunch of like offices and buildings, and stuff. So
you know what I'm looking for right now? Not to cut the conversation. I'm assuming Riddles dared down aired against that what?
Pandarian.
Yeah, it is the Pandarian set. Perfect. I'm trying to find it because amazing. Because I know you always reference the Pikmin, but now you have a Leaf.
Oh, dude, we freaked out.
Yeah, I know you did. That's why you must have. So I'm trying to find it. Anyways.
Man, it was great. But yeah, so it actually added a lot more food options. They added a teriyaki, like one of those chicken teriyaki joints that you find at the mall.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, like Sarku Japan, I think it's called.
Yeah, that was it.
They had like a chain, and I've never seen that place exist anywhere outside of just like my local mall or whatever. So that like blew my fucking mind. That they had like an actual like pop-up chain restaurant I could sit down in. So that was cool. Shout outs to Willard's Barbecue as always. That's like probably some of the best barbecue you can get like around the area. And obviously Dos Amigos, which is open 24 hours. So
Dos Amigos. I
Yeah,
like
like
that.
having a 20, like that was also kind of like my if I had one sour thing to talk about, uh, it would be because I was so busy with work this weekend. I didn't really get done with my days until like 11:30, 12 o'clock. So like my food options were incredibly limited. But the perk of having a 24-hour place definitely helped out.
Oh, dude, it always does. Just like the 24-hour IHOPs and stuff. Um, anyways, so yeah, what we kind of talked about spectator standpoint a little bit earlier, but I'm trying to find like a good. Actually, I can't think of a better set than to show it, but kind of like what the crowd looked like, other than like the Salem and Leffen set, which was sort of like. I'm just gonna be real. This is like Gimmer's wet dream of a set because this is like basically everything. This is the closest thing to like a real beef you have in the community, if you want to call it that. But yeah,
Right.
we got to see Leffen versus Salem. Speaking of this tournament having everything, and for those unaware, uh, Salem's typically a snake main, but he uses hero. Leffen and Salem have had words on Twitter, and then Leffen really hates hero, and Salem's really the only like top player playing hero. So like there was just all the makings of like this being a big deal. Salem ended up getting the upset, but like I think the point of me pulling this up is like look at this crowd, man.
Dude, it was honestly
Look at this.
insane.
This is crazy.
Like being on the other side of the venue, like because me and Max were on commentary like on your side of the stream when this was happening, and I straight up could not hear myself talk. The venue was so loud.
Yeah, and this
It was
was
absolutely
the
insane.
crazy part too about this whole thing is because as you can see if you're watching this, the venue it erupted. It was crazy. Everyone wanted to see this match. This is the most viewed set of the tournament, by the way. I think it's already like as of recording this, it's near 400,000 views. But this happened simultaneous to some bigger upsets actually on the side stream, which was where we were at. There was a big upset with Blazing Pasta, Philadelphia PR guy, power rank player over Void, which is a huge top 10 win.
I think
Um,
we had like 4 upsets in a row,
yeah,
if I'm
this is
correct.
all basically during that time frame where Leffen did it. That was like peak energy in that venue was at this point, and the place
Yeah,
was just erupting all over. Like there would be one huge set, and then you look over to your right, there's another huge set, and then you look at the other side of the stage, another big set. It was something.
yeah, because like I think we when me and Max started, we had Makiba's versus I think he's like the #1 player in Arkansas, and he beat Neotono,
Yeah,
who obviously got ninth place at Evo that last weekend, and then obviously Pasta over Void, and then
there was
the
PK Chris over
ZD.
ZD, which is a
And
pretty good
one
one.
and unfortunately for us, Justin was on the raw end of an upset where he
Hmm.
lost to Kept, the Japanese villager phenom, um, who did like really well at Evo last weekend. So
Yeah, he the crazy thing about Kept is I have a feeling he probably won't be much of a he will be the one being upset in the near future. He seems like he's very, very good. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him just kind of surge more. He seems like one of those players where once he catches a sponsor and is able to travel, he'll probably consistently be doing well in bracket. And you don't see a ton of villagers out there of like a top level, so that's kind of like one of those matchups that is not fun for a lot of characters.
yeah, so the way that I kind of chopped it up in my head afterwards, like it's kind of the same reason that I feel like ZSS is the success that she is that like a lot of the characters that would like keep those like borderline like high tier top tier characters in check, like a lot of those characters are bad now. So like you look at villagers worst matchups on paper from Smash 4, like I look at Sheik, I look at Cloud, I look at Bayonetta, I look at there's a couple of other characters I'm sure I'm missing, but like all those characters are significantly worse now. Like Rosalina, like characters like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Those characters like gate kept villager hella hard, because it's probably the same reason why characters like Mega Man are so good now, because like the characters just got gate kept by DLC and the very impressive top tiers that Smash 4 had,
Ooh.
and all those characters are worse, and those characters essentially function the same. So like it that's why I feel like characters like Villager can kind of get away with murder, because they're essentially it's basically how Glintendo would put it, being carried by your Smash 4 main. Um, but
Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah, but without a doubt, like it was super cool to watch. Like I think Villager is one of those characters that's I don't want to say criminally slept on, but I feel like a lot of people like kind of forget how good that character is. But yeah, good on Kept. I think he got 13th or something like that. He
Yeah,
only lost
he was on the
to
graphic, so
yes, he lost to Mars, and I forget who he lost to after that.
well, yeah. I mean, if you want to jump in the bracket, we can because we made it its own topic just because there's so much to talk about at SmashCon.
Yeah, so we can. I think we can transition into that. So yeah, bracket was fun. So if there's one thing I learned from this weekend is that the top four seeds or the top four seeds that were left in the tournament were all like the top four placers. So I feel like those four are just in kind of like a world of their own right
It
now,
would seem
and
that way.
everyone else is just kind of playing catch up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so those four being MKLeo, Samsura, Tweak, and Mars,
Yes.
which is
So
yeah, these are the guys you're seeing constantly at the top. And we got to see MKLeo do what is now being called the MKLeo, which is literally just a reverse 6-0. It's crazy. You just have a very generic thing named after you because you just do it. And it's raised the questions that we've been seeing a lot where it's just like, okay, is Joker busted? Is Leo busted? Is, does one carry the other? When in reality, I think they're both just busted. I think Leo's
I agree.
a busted like player, and I think that Arsene in itself is just a busted character minus Joker. So
Yes, I 110% agree with you because like you just look at Leo's path with the characters that he uses, like whether you look at as far as recently as this game or as far back as Smash 4, like nobody played Marth like Leo, nobody played Meta Knight like Leo could, nobody, and you look at how this game started out, like Ike, Leo kind of carried the early meta Ike game, and Ike has fallen off significantly since he stopped playing Ike. He barely like Lucina is kind of like a dead commodity now, except if you're Proto Badman, in which you're broken. But Leo stopped playing Lucina. Character's not as represented as you would think, and you see him having that same kind of record of success with Joker right now, where he's yes, Joker's a very good character. Arsene is a cheap motherfucker, and he hits like a truck,
yeah, he
and
does. That counter is
he's
stupid.
yeah, like his hitboxes are huge, and he's just so crunchy, and he's very DLC. Like the $5 you spend on this character is almost exclusively in Arsene. But Leo is also really good. Like you just watch some of these sets, like he's definitely he's bending, but like the bend not break mentality is like very prevalent with Leo because like obviously he loses to Sam winners, which is huge. Like Sam, like in order just to take a set off Leo, it's very very hard. You have to, it's not I'd say taking sets off of like peak 0 in Smash 4 was probably harder.
Do you think so?
But I think so because when Zero was playing at his best, like nobody could touch him. Like Leo like still has a tendency to like you watching the sets he plays, like he has like a lot of close sets. Like he had close sets with Riddles, he had close sets with Nairo, he had close sets with Sam.
Dude,
Um,
so
he had some close sets with Zachary. Like it's crazy.
the crazy part though about Leo and like his comeback factor is I think this was Evo's case too, right? Where not only was he down, where Samsora was at, it was 2-1 the set and Samsora had 3 stocks and he's on his last, and he brings it back from there. So he literally lets himself like near flat line and then just decides to win, decisively at that, and
Yeah.
it's just. It gets so exciting to watch. It's definitely just like its own sort of thing. It's kind of unreal because these are now the 2 biggest tournaments in the world for Smash Brothers, I would say, Evo and this, where he's done this back to back, once against Tweak, once against Sam. And I think after this, I'm gonna let it play out. But after this game, you just sort of see Sam Sora put his, he puts his hands to his face and it's like, oh no. And I feel like at that moment he just kind of like knew.
Yeah, like it felt like inevitable at that point. Like I think Coney put it the best way in his Evo Top 8 commentary. He said you can run from it, but something of the lungs like MKLeo like is destined for grand finals. Like he's like whatever it is, just watching him play, like he just gets so brave when he's down, and like when he's in advantage, he doesn't want to touch you. But when he's down, he just puts it in his another gear that just like other players just can't reach right
Yeah, it's
now.
like it's like a reckless abandon kind of thing.
Yeah, like he knows that like okay, like he knows that you're gonna get scared, and that he has enough ice in his veins to where he does not fear anybody. and also like a great sportsman about it too. Like I don't know if you listen to his ESPN
I
esports
did.
interview.
Hmm.
Yeah, but he goes on saying that like he doesn't like to pop off when he beats people because he knows that it's frustrating to lose to him and that his character is very frustrating to play. And like if he puts himself in the other player's shoes where he's like, if this is me, I'd be pissed off. I'm not trying to showboat and like make people feel worse than they do.
Yeah.
And like that's just very like big of a sport. Like just how good of a sport that he is. Like it gets lonely at the top. Like you saw it happen with Zero, where like he definitely got kind of jaded, like after people were complaining about him winning everything. Um, but I also think that Leo is like mature enough and like has a good enough head on his shoulders where like he understands that, and I think he welcomes that sort of like pressure and eeriness and that challenge for people to beat him.
Yeah,
Because it's not
and
like he did just lose a tournament like a couple of weeks ago. Like it's not an always a guaranteed shoe in, and by no means was this a shoe in. Like there was there's a handful of opportunities where Leo could have lost. He could have lost to Riddles, he could have lost to Zachary, he could have lost to Nairo, and he could have lost to Sam
totally.
or
Yep.
Tweak. It could have happened to any of them. So
And so I gotta ask you, as I don't know if you're still a Richter main or secondary or anything, but how you feel about seeing Richter get 13th on the graphic in one of the biggest tournaments of the year?
oh dude, it's amazing. Riddles is so fun
He's
to
nuts,
watch.
dude.
He is the way that he operates with these characters, because like I don't I've kind of like fallen out of favor with the Belmonts just because I want to play like I don't want to be stressed out anytime I get hit by somebody.
Let's be real,
Um,
man. Their disadvantage is glaringly difficult to handle. Like for
yes,
yes, it just
and you
is.
watch it, and you watch it in some in a lot of the sets that he plays. Like when the characters get he's even said it himself on Twitter, where like the Belmonts are like once you understand the arc, the way in which to beat the character, then you shouldn't be losing because like it's just rinse and repeat at that point. There really isn't any sort of like counterplay to getting your tether gimped at 40 and dying.
Yeah, that's it. Like you're just dead.
But
Nothing you
he's
can do.
just so good. Like he's got solid fundamentals. His neutral is really really solid. His ability to like use the items well and like something I really liked is that even when I think Pandaria took him to Lilat, and that stage isn't really great for the Belmonts because they can't get the same ledge conversions as they do because of the slant. He was doing it fine. Like his ability to keep you at the ledge is what makes like any top player that can keep you at the ledge for extended periods of time is probably going to win. And he is so good at trapping at the ledge, whether it be with Richter or Ken. So he's basically just baby hazmat.
So the thing I've noticed about this top 8 is there is 17 different characters represented out of the 13 placings. I say 17 even though there's 16 on the graphic because Louis Money does have a Mario that he used a lot in tournament. He's just not on the
Yes.
graphic. And I think that's pretty cool because you even see like Game and Watch there with Meister at 5th. Like if you didn't know anything about this game and you had never heard of a tier list before, and all that stuff was foreign to you, you like if you look at this graphic, you would just think it's fair game because you see so many different characters. Like you even see Cloud on there, dude. Like you see Cloud, you see Villager, you see Richter, Olimar, you see Rob twice for some. Well, we know why. You see Rob, like Pikachu, and dude, you get to see a little bit of everything.
Yeah. The character diversity is definitely a lot of fun. And, I'm not surprised. Like, obviously, like I said, the top four players I feel like are kind of in a league of their own. Like, I feel like any top four could consist of Leo, Tweak, Mars, and Samsora, where the other four can be filled up by anybody in the rest of the top 20. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like, at Evo it was Light and Proto Bantam and Raito and Gluttony, and this time it just happened to be Nairo and Light, but this time with two unranked players. And it's not that they had kind of any sort of a cakewalk. Like Meister had to beat Esam, and he had to after losing to Leffen, he had to play him, and then Louis Money had to beat Shutan, who's the top 5 player in the world. So like, there's definitely nothing to scoff at there.
Yeah, I think Louis Money. Who else did he take out? Did he take out Anti? I want to say that he did. I might have that. No. I have that wrong. That was Mudace. Mudace took out
Yes.
Anti. But
Yeah,
yeah,
his bracket was nice. I know he beat Wadi. I
that's who.
know
That's who
he
he
beat.
beat.
I believe he beat somebody else. I just don't know off the top of my head. Also, fun fact from my good buddy G-Pick, NorCal commentator extraordinaire, Louis Money is the highest placing NorCal player ever at an S tier.
That's something. That's actually a
Yeah,
big
man.
deal. And I got and seeing Salt One in the graphic is kind of cool, inspiring for all the Wi-Fi warriors out there because I think Salt One is basically one of those guys who just was a night like he just grinded Naifu Wars, which is online tournaments for anyone unaware that Nairo
Yes.
hosts and he's been doing that since Smash 4. So he goes into this tournament with Cloud, who is people don't really think he's like the best character anymore. He's because he's not. And then Roy, who's up there, but
Yeah.
coming in at 13th in a tournament that has like 4,000 plus entrants, like that's pretty cool to see if you're a net grinder.
Yeah, without a doubt. I know he said he's been favoring more Roy because Cleve feels like Cloud's kind of boring, but he had a hell of a run too, man. Like the rough part, I'd say obviously the rough part if you're like a top 20 player with these upsets is that it can definitely hurt your self-esteem a little bit more, but at the same time, the talent pool of these people is so strong. Like any of these players could have just like ate shit after they beat these like the worst thing for a player I feel like is when you get upset and then the person that upsets you like goes 0-2 or just like immediately loses at a losers.
Yeah,
So like I feel like it definitely speaks for like how strong the skill gap is between the unranked players versus the cream of the crop.
and there's even like a few other like upsets. Like I'm just saying, I just remembered this had happened. It was Fatality and Puppe. Fatality kind of walked all over him, like he sort of beat him up, dude. And that like I don't think a lot of people like Captain Falcon isn't really one of the characters like when you think of like top tiers or good characters. And then like Pokemon Trainer sort of feels like he's on the up and up, but like. I don't know. Then you see a set like this where what's Puppe ranked 20 something right now on
He's
the
like
PDR?
He's like 30th, I
Yeah,
think 28th. He's a top 30 player
and
right
then
now,
like
so
Fatality, someone you think is like
he's in the low 40s.
like you're
So
thinking like washed in a sense compared to like where he came from in Smash 4, but then you kind of see him
yes.
get wiped out. So it was interesting to see some of these matchups kind of play out on a bigger stage, but um yeah,
Yeah,
Storm.
and I also know Puppy beat Void in losers. So
Oh, I did not know that. That's a pretty big win too. What place did Void get?
I have no idea, but whatever it was is not good.
Yeah, well, oof. Dude, that Captain Falcon's command grab of B like at ledge is insane. That's like Fatality's go-to. I was just saying that because I just watched it, but damn.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. So like results wise, things definitely can get kind of weird, and like some uncharacteristic like falls for some other players like MVD. I think placed poorly again. Raito got like 65th or something like that. So like
Well,
a
that's
lot of top
under
players
Raito
ate
is
crap.
understandable though because that's like one of those things where I feel like it's a little bit like his character is definitely bad. Like Duck Hunt is not a great character. He's got some stuff, but in terms of like his recovery and just things that are exploitable, it's just no good. So it's like it's not surprising that you would see the variance there, but you see a lot of the people that play characters that are just good. I think actually Pelko was the highest placing snake. Speaking of MBD, I don't even know what that was, what place, but wow, Nick C got 17th. Shoutouts. That's sick.
Yeah, that's my dude.
Let's see what else. Leffen getting 17th. Okay, so Pelko got 33rd, which means MBD got not 33rd. Um,
Right.
Mr. E 33rd. I'm just looking at familiar names. Wow, it's
And also
crazy.
shout out to Rafi X ninth.
Yeah, man, that's a pretty big score, man. That's like a
The Buzz getting 49th. I can't believe he almost like Mr. I
yeah.
know Mr. R, Mr. RA crap. Like it's this event's like very unkind to certain people. Like I know
MVD
the
got
Buzz.
49th.
Yeah, like I know the Buzz historically doesn't do very well at this tournament. And he even said himself, he's like he entered too many games. He felt like because that's also a problem
Did he
you run into it.
win? Did he win Smash 4?
He won Smash 4 and he got top 8 in Brawl. He got 7th
Dude,
place.
he was super try hard in Smash 4.
Yeah, dude. Listen. It was fun watching Rosalina shut down the opposition
You know what?
for a couple
I
hours.
think this is a good question for you. So you got to commentate Smash 4. How was that walk down memory lane for you?
It's about what I remembered it being.
Right where
I'm
you
not
left
gonna.
it. Totally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely like it was fun. I had a good time. I obviously have to respect the roots at which I came from.
Totally.
And we had a really good top 8. Like there was just the right amount of Bayonetta. um, only 2. It was Tamim and Tyroy.
Okay.
Um,
That's not so bad.
and Ralphie made top 8. T got to watch him play a little bit. Elegant made top 8. Captain L made top 8. MVD made top 8 winner side, so I get to see Diddy Kong again. To me, went a lot of Zero Suit, so the character diversity was definitely there. It was fun watching Bayonetta cheese people again, and knowing that I can just turn the game off and go play something else was
Dude,
fantastic.
the thing of just like watching things die really slowly, like it's actually painful. It
That
was
was
actually,
definitely like the hardest thing to get used to.
well, because I could tell you from a streaming perspective, like, it was the nostalgia was nice for a minute. The chat was like calling for just let me watch the intro, and I did that when I first turned on. It was kind of nice. Everyone was pretty hype about it. And then like the games start going, you're like, ha yeah, like I remember this. Oh yeah, haha, funny. Like someone gets ding donged. Ha yeah, I remember that. And then like it just then you start seeing like later in bracket the more Baos coming in and just people dying to like ZSS rage up air. Like they're at like 20% and ZSS is at like 150 and then they're just dead. And then like the
Yeah.
fact that the game is 2 stocks, I forgot
Oh
about
yeah.
that. So games could either go super fast or they take forever. Um,
hmm
and I don't know, it kind of lost its luster quickly for me.
we're not even talking about. We almost ignored the biggest criminal. We get custom me brawler. My God.
Oh, dude, yeah, custom me brawler, dude. It took out Ralphie.
Yeah. So that guy Selves, I believe, at one point was the number 1 player in Indiana. And he played Bayonetta, but he, I guess, he had a pocket me brawler, and that character in its prime was super cheese, and it was so
I'm gonna
funny.
find it because I just remember that was one of the first things I streamed on Saturday morning was Ralphie versus this me brawler, and Ralphie was shook because the first game was over in like 30 seconds, just 2 stocks right down the drain with like, yeah, little cells. Shout out to little cells. Um, Dude, it was he just looked so unhappy to be playing Smash 4. I was just like, oh my god.
Dude, it was it was so funny. Actually, Ralphie kind of smoked Elegant in his round 1 of top 8, so that was fun to watch.
Yes,
But
his top tier versus Niche Luigi.
yeah, it was not pretty. But yeah, honestly, like the trip down memory lane was fun. I'm glad I got to do it
He's
with
dead.
Haz because
Look at that. He was dead.
dude,
That was
movie
up
so
D at 70.
and like, I will say the thing that was hardest for me to adjust to wasn't just a knockback. It was that the stages are different again.
Oh yeah,
Like
seeing a
Town and City,
moving platforms on Smashville and Town and City.
yeah,
Good lord.
Town and City being the smallest blast zone in the game again. Like we didn't really get to see. We only saw Battlefield, I think, in the last set. We didn't really get to see like FD or like Lilat. Well, actually, no, I saw a lot of Lilat. What am I talking about? Yeah, this is
Look at that. That's disgusting. Just look at Ralphie. He's disgusted. He's just like, I'm just gonna drink this water, but oh god.
it was so funny. But yeah, honestly, I enjoyed my trip down memory lane. And also being able to do it on the main stage with my hearing myself in the house mic, like
Oh
that was
yeah.
kind of that was honest to God, like that was a dream come true. Like it was. I've always dreamt of having an opportunity that big, and obviously, Smash Four is dead and is only coming back like once a year.
You
I'm
gotta
sure.
appreciate the roots. So, oh yeah, it's never gonna come back more than once a year, dude.
Yeah,
This
but
this
you know
is
what? It was fun. I had my trip down memory lane, and I couldn't have asked a better person to commentate with because obviously me and Haz are
it's
static partners,
it's
and
kind of
it was fun.
weird how that all shaped up. I feel like it was very fitting between how the streams ran and just like the overall, just who got to do things and who won and who's commentating, and that's a roof ditty. Oh yeah, watching Zero play Smash Masters and killing people with like up tilt reliably, Diddy up tilt was kind of fun for a minute.
Oh
That
yeah, that
move
was
used to
fun to
be
watch.
so good.
Yeah, I yeah, it was something. Like the Smash Masters was definitely fun to watch. It would have been cool to be on the commentary docket like I was
Slated.
scheduled to. Yeah, but it's fine. Like getting to do top 8 teams was also a lot of fun, and yeah, just getting able to watch Zero play again was a lot of fun. And um, obviously getting to watch top players play like any game that isn't their main game is also interesting. So, I hope the scheduling kind of runs a little bit more comfortable next year, so that way Smash Masters doesn't start like super late like it did. But
Yeah,
regardless, it was a lot of fun,
a few
and
things ran late. It's
yeah,
okay.
but I enjoyed my trip down memory lane. The Brawl top 8 was a lot of fun to watch, and
Who
shout
won
outs to
Brawl?
Anti.
Anti
Anti
won?
won Brawl,
Okay.
and Nairo got second, and ADHD got third.
ADHD.
Yeah. Shout outs to
Wow.
shout outs to the man, the myth, the legend, Vex Krasrani, coming out of his cave.
Wait, he
and
was
getting
there? He was there?
Yeah, Vex got top 8 in Brawl.
Oh my god, dude, that's amazing. Wow, which time? All right, that's enough. That's enough Smash for it. Dude, hold on. I gotta go back to that Tyro's face. You just watch him smile. You just like, hold on, wait. After this, I got him. Hold up. He's just like, yes. He's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Which time lasts forever?
Dude, it's so funny. But yeah, honestly, like, it was a fun trip down memory lane. I had a good time, and being on the house mic was cool. So that was definitely a dream come true. And everything else about commentary this weekend was fun. Like I said, I was obviously worked to the bone, but if I felt like I was up to the challenge.
Yeah,
I've
you were.
commentated many. I've commentated. I've had many a 6-hour commentary block at Katars before, so a lot of the
You,
stuff just kind of felt
you're
like
ready
second
for this
nature.
day. Yeah, that's how
Oh
I
yeah,
felt
dude.
about the streams too. I'm just like, everything went pretty smoothly on my end. The only thing that didn't go smoothly, the only thing, was when I had transitioned to Wii U. No one was available to stream run, and it seemed like no one cared.
Oh yikes.
And it was just like oh no, this is so fitting. It brought me back, in a not great way, in like a war flashback kind of way. But in either case, it still ended up okay. Yeah, man, this it was SmashCon. I like it. SmashCon's a good tournament in my book.
Yeah, I had a good time, and again, all the top 8s were fun to watch. Like even 64, so was fun to watch. And fun fact, so I was asked to be a presenter at the Smashies this year, which was fun.
Oh yes, the
Um,
Smashies. We didn't talk
yeah,
about that yet.
that's true. That was like the premiere thing on Saturday night. It was fun. I think the Smashies is like just a cute little like acknowledgement of things that happen in the scene. So I was contacted to present, but everybody was like, okay, 64 is probably going to go reset, because the guy that was on winner side had 3 stocks, and the guy that was in winners had 1 stock, and the guy that was in losers had 3 stocks, and it was on game 5 or whatever. And as you can see, me and Hazmat.
Look at these guys. Couple good men.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it was fun.
Just
Like
presenting
I said,
an award.
me and Haz got a lot of reps this weekend, and it was definitely shout out to James for
I love
coming
that.
through.
I love that you were presenting the James's award. I love how these things work out sometimes. The best part is James is just off in the corner, like doing his money matches. First of all, James was set up right next to my stream. Basically, he had my MHG box that I bring all the equipment in, and 3 monitor boxes stacked with his setup from home that he brought. And he bought a framed picture of Crom that I will show in a bit, and had that on display along with like a Togepi plush that someone bought him. I think it was King Kamina. Shout out to King Kamina.
Nice.
Basically, jeez, man. But basically,
So
he had
good.
that all set up and was just money matching people, literally for the entire day, like just in a corner facing the wall. So he was at SmashCon but watched nothing. And just hung out, like just playing, dude, the entire weekend. I'm talking like 9 hours at a time, just like playing money matches. But like he was like doing lessons and stuff too. But it was just funny that the little shrine he had set up was
Yeah,
incredible.
it was definitely something. It was very fitting that I got to give James a trophy. I wish he dapped me up like he always does, but he fucking sucks.
Dude, he had to run over. Alpharad was just like, dude, you have to come receive this award, because at first he just wasn't going to. I was like, oh, James, like, what do you? He was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, I'm like nominated for a Smash or something. I was like, oh, which one? He's like, I don't know, something about being gay. And I was like, oh, all right.
Sounds about right. We were looking at
Dude, this is the James walk. I love it.
I hate him so much, man.
He's such a jerk. It's the best.
I loved his acceptance speech that was basically dedicated to Crom.
Yeah, I do it all for
was
him.
fun. Look, man, 'cause I told him to dab me up, and he didn't do it with me. I hate him.
I'm gonna turn up the volume. I know you can't hear it, but
I know it's fine. It's so funny. Honestly, it's a fun idea. I really like the Smash. But yeah, we were afraid that it was gonna get delayed because of Smash 64, and then the guy in Winter's Side made a 3-stock 0-to-death comeback. So
good lord.
that was fucking dude. 64 is an anime fighter. I don't want to fucking hear it. Like you get touched once in that game, you just fucking explode, and it was so much fun to watch. So that was definitely my highlight of the weekend. So yeah, I was incredibly busy. SmashCon gets an A+ in my book, and like I said, if you I want to give a shout out, obviously, to Gimmer and Tantalus and all the TOs that did a fantastic job. I want to give and obviously, I want to give my props to you and Devin. Like, I already said it on Twitter, but you're two people who I work with closely on a semi-weekly basis, and I know how hard you guys strive for these big moments, and the fact that you guys were given the opportunity and you knocked it out of the ballpark, it makes me very happy, both for you guys and for me about being right about you guys.
Thanks,
So,
man. That it means a lot. I do appreciate that.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
it felt pretty good this weekend. It felt good. Like I said, it was the hardest I've worked and the longest I've streamed at any one point. But man, it was probably some of my best work for sure.
Absolutely.
Speaking of best work, you and I, good sir, coming up on a 1-year anniversary in a couple days.
Dude, yeah. So I figured since we don't really have much of a third topic to go into, because I don't want to break down Shine too extensively. I guess we can talk about that this coming Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah. So August 15th, 2018 is when we officially started doing these podcasts weekly.
Oh boy.
And I think in that time we've only missed like 2 or 3 weeks. I think.
Yeah, and those have all been like recent. Those have been like in recent time. We've missed a couple weeks.
Yeah,
I'm talking like within the past 2 weeks or 2 months, maybe.
Yeah. So I figured we'd just take this section and kind of like talk about it in a quick little section. Maybe on the day of the actual anniversary, we could like upload a little thank you video for the folks. But we'll see how that feels. We can do that. We can probably do that DNA.
Yeah, probably. Let me tell you the thing. Hold on, let me find it. I was looking back at all these podcasts back when before we had seasons. We basically like basically the beta version of the podcast where we had a bunch of people on the call and we just numbered the episodes going up, and then ultimately came out and we're like, yeah, I guess we could structure this.
Yeah. So we. We definitely it definitely took us a minute to find the direction we wanted to go in and our footing, and we've had obviously many different panelists, and I think that's kind of what I really like about the charm of the podcast is that we can always offer different people and different opinions on things. And I gotta say, like, when I came up, I think because when I pitched this idea to you, I wasn't sure how heavily this is gonna stick. But here we are a year later. We've, uploading a podcast a week, sometimes 2, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah.
It's been a fun ride. And as I'm just, oh my God, just look how like,
dude, it's weird, right? This is the very first one we did. It was the PR reveal. Wow. Yeah, and I think we were just starting to talk about Ultimate, or no. Yeah, this is like right when it was announced. This is
they announced the because I remember at Evo, they announced they were doing a Nintendo Direct, and then they showed us the Belmonts, which was just fun. I can't believe it's been over a year already. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, look at all this stuff, man. Whoa, players wall.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then the first official weekly edition of the podcast happened the week of SmashCon. And it was, honest to God, like, this has been one of the best hobbies I think I've had. I'm someone in life where, like, I tend to like try to do a lot of things at once, and then I have a problem like following through with them. That's just kind of a personal problem.
Not this time.
That I have. No, and I think it also helps for you because you've definitely kept me much more regimented than I do in my personal life. God, this image is just so strange to look at.
It's so crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm here for, man.
Yeah, but honestly, it's been an incredible journey, and obviously we want to thank you guys at home for listening. I actually did have a fan come up to me this weekend and say, "Dude, I love the
No
podcast."
way. That's
And
so
yeah,
cool. That is so
dude,
awesome. I'm jealous.
that made me so
That's
happy.
such a pop off. Oh my god, dude. I had someone tell me they liked it, but it was someone we knew. I think it was player 4. I was like, "Oh my god, you listen?" He's like, "Yeah, I listen every week." And I'm like, "Whoa. No way."
Yeah, no, there's never seen this kid before in my life. He like went out of his way to be like, "Dude, listen to your podcast. It's really good."
Yes, that's so fucking
And
cool.
yeah, and
Sorry,
that's what we strive for, man.
that's
Like
super
it's
cool.
just yeah. So shout out to you guys at home for listening every week. We greatly appreciate your time and for listening to us ramble with some of our friends in the scene. And I obviously want to thank guys like Haz and Hungry and Hangman, who he's unfortunately a little tied up this week, so he can uh, be on the podcast proper. But I think it's fine because I think it's fitting that it's just you and me being. We haven't missed an episode of this show yet together,
Yeah, I
so
agree. And
we are your hosts.
yeah, we are literally the hosts. The coolest thing about this that I would say is like there does seem to be, and this was always the goal. I know we kind of set out to kind of make the whole like Smash as an entity a little bit more digestible for like the every person. Maybe not
Mhm.
like someone who knows a lot about his stuff. Like that's why I always kind of go into detail. Like okay, if you don't know what a reverse 6 is, or if you don't know like this, that, the other thing, is because this is sort of meant to be that like intermediary between hey, I'm just learning about Smash Bros. And then like hey, here's all of this really detailed stuff about my favorite players. Like this is kind of the bridge between that to kind of learn, and it seems like it's taking just that form, and I couldn't be happier. So yeah, actually, definitely big shout outs to everyone who listens to this stuff because it's consistent. Like it's not a ton. We're not blowing the world over, but like it's a consistent set of viewers, and obviously, the guys who are listening now, y'all know who you are. So pretty awesome. And
Yeah,
and yeah, definitely don't be shy to ever come up to like me and say what's up if you see me. So
yeah, no, please. That's why we do this. We want to get our voices out there and heard for you guys. And it's just been an incredible year of podcasts, and I'm looking forward to doing more of them because obviously there's just so much content to be touched and unearthed. And we do have some cool, nifty ideas that we're going to try to implement in the future for you guys. But yeah, we just wanted to do a quick thank you. So thank you for a year of your time and your likes on SoundCloud and on YouTube and the comments and the feedback. It's all appreciative, and especially like we said for the panelists that pop on, every now and then. Whether you've been on once or whether you've been on a million times, we appreciate you, and your time to sit down and kind of bull around with us. And
yeah, man. Here's looking to another year of this, and yeah, like you said, we're gonna this will only keep getting better. There's so many things that I know that I want to integrate, and you've talked about integrating, and we'll get there eventually. But in the meantime, I'm pretty happy with how this is all shaped up.
oh yeah, dude, I'm stoked. And so I think that's probably gonna wrap things up for this week. So
Yeah, it was good.
it was a fun little intimate talk. And next week is when things get big because that's kind of the last big hurrah of the summer of
For the
Smash
summer,
coming up
and
next
and
weekend.
then we're just regular old routine stuff. Which I'll be honest with you, I think the routine stuff this time around is going to be pretty good. Now the game's been out for a good 8 months, and things are kind of established. There's a global ranking out now with the PGR officially. These big tournaments have been
Mhm.
settled. We've got to see, like Leo do his thing and everyone else do their thing and kind of get a sense for it. So now the routine stuff I think is going to be great because
Yep.
those are the building blocks. That's like when you
Yeah.
see the upsets happen at like the Smash Cons and Evos of the future. These months where it's just routine, this is where you learn about the players that are doing the upsets. So
Yeah.
this this
And
is
then we
this is
still
the
got
fun stuff.
and there's still like the fall tournaments that are gonna be big. Like I don't want to count September, the second week of September fall, but like obviously Glitch is gonna be a big one
Yeah.
coming up. There's Big House and as well as Battle for the East
Yes, Battle
happening.
for the East. We will be there.
And then we got Dream hacks that are going to be happening in the fall. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, and then by the time it's January, and Big House is going to be rolling around, and our Genesis is going to be rolling around, and we get to do the whole thing over again. So that's the beautiful thing about these tournament schedules is that we just if when it comes to having big tournaments to talk about, we're always going to have content to make because that's always going to be something that's readily available months ahead of time.
Yeah, and the
So
stories are always writing themselves, man. There's always someone looking like they're on the come up, and there's always like a upset right around the corner, or just someone else saying like, "Hey, I'm really good at this game, and I'm going to consistently place." Like, there's always something going on, so makes things easy.
yeah, man, it was fun. And like I said, I couldn't have asked for a better co-host. to share this with, even though you do a bunch of the work, and I greatly appreciate that.
I don't know. It's probably a little more even than you might be thinking, just because I'm doing all the back end stuff. But I happily let you carry me through the conversation every week, and I never think twice about it. So
it's a team effort. So we'll probably upload a quick thank you video with some fanfare on Thursday or something. We'll think of something silly
I like
to do.
that idea.
For the fans at home. So yeah, that's gonna be wrapping things up for us. And so again, if you guys like the content, obviously let us know. Drop a like in the YouTube video. Follow us on SoundCloud. These go up every week. Next week is gonna be fun because, like I said, Shine's gonna be right around the corner. We could probably talk about that. I'm sure it'll be something. I'm sure something else earth shattering will happen between now and then that we can talk about. And if not, we'll just improvise like we usually do, and we'll find something silly to discuss.
Yeah, man, it's always a good time here. And as you mentioned, if you do like these things, yeah, drop us the likes and even just click on the videos because it helps a lot with just overall with the YouTube algorithms. Very helpful. Comment things you want to hear about, things you're interested in, especially if you are new and you are listening to this. There's plenty of stuff to find out. So if you're ever interested, we'd never mind breaking down even some of what you might think is basic stuff. But other than that, you can, of course, follow this podcast and Masterhand Gaming on Twitter, and that is at Masterhand Games. SoundCloud is basically just soundcloud.com/MHGGo. You can follow me on Twitter at CSantosEX. I got some stuff to say sometimes. And then you can follow Koopa. Where could they follow you?
At Koopa NJ. Obviously, it was announced today, but I will be commentating on Shine 2019 next weekend. So I'm pretty stoked. I applied to two of the biggest summer tournaments on the East Coast, and I got hired for both of them. So I'm pretty much on cloud nine right now. So I'm very thankful for the people at Shine giving me that opportunity.
Yeah,
to,
man. Well deserved.
To shine. So
that's it.
Yep, there we go. So,
but until next week, I don't know what we'll talk about, but we'll figure it out. And if
the Sarcadians this weekend, so we can probably talk.
Yeah, it's Arcadian season once again, and that'll be interesting because there's a Philly Arcadian going on the same week. And I'll be honest with you, and this is something maybe we can talk about next week. I think organizing Arcadians in different regions and kind of keeping them specific to regions on the similar weekends could kind of be a neat idea, but we could get into that next week maybe. In the meantime, thank you all again for watching. Thank you all again for supporting for a whole year now. You guys have yourself a nice day, and we will catch you next time.
See ya.